Hi, this is Jim Cranston from 7 Every Minute and 7everyminute.com, the podcast and website about reimagining your life. Thanks for joining me today to talk about, well, some different ways to set goals and resolutions. So let's get started. If you like what you hear today, please leave a like, subscribe, tell your friends, send me a message. Thanks for joining me tonight to talk about giving yourself a little grace and how you set goals, even New Year's resolutions. Just was reading somewhere that I think it's roughly 45% of the people have already given up on their New Year's resolutions, and this is being recorded on the 7th, the 8th. So not a real good start to things. First, I hope you did have a great New Year's and that your year's off to a good start. And if it's not off to a good start, well, that you have or are considering a plan to make it a great year. Remember, we all have the ability to change ourselves and change the world around us. So I hope that you have, you know, feeling hopeful about things that are coming. Let's put it that way. Also, please let me know if you want to, if you watched that movie that I mentioned, Feeling Through Omeletto. If you did, let me know, send me a thing, and if I hope you enjoyed it. So, for tonight's topic, there was, and there still is, kind of a reference point, a fitness and focus challenge called 75 Hard. And the basis of it was mostly being totally regimented in following a number of fitness and improvement goals. And that's all fine, but it was a kind of a do or fail sort of thing. If you missed one day, you were supposed to start over from the beginning, no excuses, really do it or kind of, just start over. No, don't want to hear your excuse. So I knew some folks who followed through with it, and indeed, they felt much better at the end, both because they developed a bunch of healthy habits that they picked up, and also because they followed through with their commitment to themselves, which is really important, and that's all good stuff. So, well, this is great for truly critical improvement, or if you're really on kind of a short-term sort of schedule, it's is that really what we want as we get older? And the more demands in our lives and just different responsibilities and things. Plus, what's the next step? Do another 75-day challenge? And for many of us, 75 hard or 65 hard or whatever could just as easily be referring to years, not days. We've been doing this a long time, and we have a lot of experience. We know in many things what works and what doesn't, and perhaps we've just gotten a little lax in some of the things that we know we should be doing. And like I say, as we age, our responsibilities and goals change a lot. And so it's just not always practical to say, okay, I'm going to drop everything and go out and work out twice today when you're helping your spouse or significant other go to the hospital for the day or whatever is coming up. So a little realism has to come in here, a little reality check. And like we say, if something comes up during our workout time, and one of the things that came up to me and reminds me a lot, some old friend calls you and says, hey, I'm in town, can we get together? Well, the benefit of renewing an old friendship may very well outweigh the 15-minute brisk walk that you had planned, right? Maybe you do it together, the two of you, which would be a lot of fun, but if not, things change as we age. So that rigidness naturally led to another similar program called 75 Soft, a more gentle version. But even 75 Soft has a number of pretty rigid rules and things like, water intake should be this much and stuff like that. And like I said, certainly for me at this point in my life, while I'm open to most any health related advice, I usually weigh it against a life of tweaking how I live for a combination of both feeling good and living within healthy guidelines. So that brings us to the winter arc, yet another regime. Came from TikTok. And that's, kind of get you healthy, improve your daily habits again. Plus, you get a jump on New Year's. It started in October, was when it got its origins. And so the actual timetable for that has passed or is supposed to be done before the New Year's. But the concept is similar, and the concept that it runs is similar in some ways, but it's quite different for 75 hard and 75 soft. The timetable is both longer and more flexible, starting, like I said, in October, but also allowing late starts, no such thing in 75 hard for sure, and allowing greater variation is what are acceptable goals. Really, you're supposed to just define your own goals. These things are important to me. These things I know will make my life better. And if you look up the goals for Winter Arc, you'll see lots of people have posted theirs, and they're all over the map, which is exactly correct because the goals are tailored towards the person themselves. Like say, because by its very nature, it's both longer by design and also the flexibility allows it to be repeated with more variations to achieve your goal, which is a really good thing because if you just have one regimen you're trying to do, you just get bored doing that. And so this allows for more flexibility. And like I said, that last word is goals is kind of the real key for any goals, whether they're lifestyle, health, or otherwise, and that includes New Year's resolutions. What all three of these programs are trying to do is create a shift in your mindset. The 75 and 90 days is kind of a common duration mentioned for something to become a habit. So if you do one of these challenges, then the thought is that one would be kind of expect these changes to become more ingrained into your daily routine, what we call habits. So, I'm sure it's true to some degree, but I know what will really achieve a new mindset is not only doing a challenge or a new routine for a length of time, but making sure that this new lifestyle, this new routine of yours is aligned with your real goals and by tracking your progress towards that goal. Similarly, care should be taken to carefully define that the goal is relevant, but still flexible in the way you're actually implement it. So rather than say, I want to lose 10 pounds by April, say, perhaps a more motivating goal is to try to increase my exercise time by 1 minute each day for 2 weeks. And perhaps couple that with only eating dessert at one meal each day. You know that more exercise and fewer sweets will tend to move you towards your tangible goal. But on a daily basis, that bigger goal is sometimes difficult to measure. I happen to be one of those people, I'm not quite Tim Ferriss by any means, but I do weigh myself every single day. And so I have, I don't know, 10, 15-year history of doing that actually. And my weight can vary easily a few pounds in a day, depending what I'm doing. I'm a small person, so my weight changes reflect very dramatically in my percent of my whole weight. But if I'm out working in hot weather for a day and weigh myself, I can easily be down by 2 pounds. Now that obviously is not muscle loss, at least I certainly hope it's not. It's water loss. But if you forget what you did that day and you go weigh yourself and you're up a pound, you kind of, I can't believe I gained a pound today. Oh my God, I'm not eating anything tomorrow. I'm going to lose that weight back off. But you forgot that you had a bunch of chips yesterday. They had salt. You retained more water. That's why you're up a pound. Now you're starving yourself tomorrow, and you go back and go, oh my God, now I'm down 3 pounds. So should I be happy because I lost more weight than I expected? Should I be sad because I didn't mean to lose 3 pounds? If you do things over a longer term, then it's easier to just average those things out. And that's one of the big advantages of not doing a challenge per se, but setting a goal and working towards that goal. And little bumps in the road, give yourself grace. They're not that important. So by focusing on the habits you want to change, those are pretty easy to measure by themselves. And then you can see the results towards that ultimate goal without worrying, like I said, as much about if your weight fluctuates a little bit, something, if you're trying to save some more money and all of a sudden you realize, oh my gosh, I forgot that I had this bill due. It's a learning lesson. And just remember, okay, we have to leave more money in the account. So when these bills come through that only happen once every 3 months or something, it's less of a thing. The big thing about all of these is give yourself some grace, allow some flexibility in what you're doing. So by focusing on the steps to reach a bigger goal, you're now setting yourself up to develop better long-term lifestyle changes that are less demanding, and so they're much more likely to be sustainable over that long period of time. Doing a 75 hard challenge is great, but can you do a 150-day hard challenge or a 1-year hard challenge? Likely no in most cases, right? It's just too demanding. But if you adapt a longer-term strategy of setting the big goals you want, then breaking them down into the little smaller steps, that will help you reach these goals, and maybe even spreading those steps out over weeks or even months, you've now defined a path which, if you follow, you already know will lead you towards that ultimate goal. That sort of approach is sustainable, and it will most likely result in the long-term lifestyle changes because the best of it, right, it's automatically kind of going into your whole way of being, because since it's a long term and you're not focusing on every little thing, you're not, oh my gosh, is this my 15th or my 16th glass of water today? It's kind of like, did I drink a lot of water? Yup. Did I mean to drink a lot of water? Yup. Check that one off. And built right into it, you automatically kind of give yourself grace, because even if you have small setbacks, you're still on that same path towards your success. It's the moving down the path that's the important part. That's what sets it into a new mindset and then lifestyle changes. You can apply this to any and pretty much every time period you want to as well. There's flexibility there too. You can start it whenever, right? You don't need a new year to start. And if you didn't start at the new year, who cares? And if you have a cruise coming up in the summer and you want a bit to be a bit more fit, well, set your goal for the summertime and then define the steps that you think will get you there and start working through each step. But it's not, oh, here it is January 5th. If I haven't lost this amount of weight by February, I failed. That's not so. If you're working your way down that path, and that that path will lead you towards your goal, just following that path, you already are on the path to success. You don't have to be down on yourself for anything, any little small setbacks. And if it doesn't look like things are going according to plan, then without any guilt at all, change the plan. You thought, oh, I thought I'd need to work out 5 minutes a day, but that's not getting me where I want to be. Maybe I should work out 20 minutes a day. And if you're finding things that are too difficult to maintain, well, again, without any guilt, change the plan. I thought I could work out an hour a day. Golly, I can't work out 20 minutes a day. The goal is a long-term goal. So the day-to-day things and the day-to-day gains and setbacks are only steps down that path. And it's really important in all this stuff, remember to build in some fun, either in what you do, how you do it, or maybe who you're doing it with. Maybe, include some friends for accountability, or just include some friends for the heck of it.